you to our program. This is Essencology, the Essencology channel. And today we're going to deal with Essencology from a defining moment. And so we welcome you to Defining Moments of Essencology. I am your host, Dr. Derek A. Reeves, and today we're going to discuss atmospheric entropy. It sounds like this is a lot of definitive and complicated expressions and terminology, when really it's quite simple. To understand atmospheric entropy, we will address, first of all, the term atmospheric. Atmospheric specifically comes from the term atmosphaera. This is a Latin term that we coined and we utilize in Essencology to reflect and to describe what is called an organic or living atmosphere where the soul is embedded and operates. The soul was a spontaneously created entity that is literally the personhood of the individual, the personhood from the mental, thinking, feeling, choosing aspect. The scriptures tell us that when God formed man out of the dust of the ground, he meticulously molded and shaped every systemic thing that would be within that somatic structure or the body. And he breathed into the body the breath of life. And this breath is what caused the soul to spontaneously come into existence. And so when we speak of the atmosphere, again, it is the dwelling place of the soul within the context of man's substantial reality. In other words, you have body, you have soul, you have a spirit. The physiological aspect of the body then provides the living atmosphere in which the soul or the mind can now operate through the context of the physiology. It is through the body, through the senses and the brain, that the body sends signals to the mind that is now incorporated within this living system, and the mind is capable of receiving those influxes and all of the things, those impulses that signal information through the brain, and the mind is able to construct information that becomes usable. The second terminology is the word entropy. Entropy is simply a law that we basically use in theology and in science to talk about the state of the universe. Entropy, or the law of entropy, reveals that something that is systemic, something that is structured, something that has a beginning, unless those who were the original founders or builders maintain this existence, then the natural state of everything that is orderly will become disorderly. And so entropy says that there must be someone who utilizes some type of energy, some type of force, and intelligence to structure order. And so when we speak of atmospheric entropy, this is the bringing into confusion of the state in which the very mind dwells and operates. In Essencology, we have discovered that even though the mind is thinking, even though the mind is operable through the brain, there are many things that can introduce a state of entropy. Entropy can occur because the mind begins to think along lines that will cause the brain, through the reticular activating system, to start prompting the mind to focus on destructive tendencies. And so whatever you choose to focus on, you start programming your mind to make it easier for you to consider those things. And so entropy can be introduced into the atmosphere either through disease that now severs or destroys the nerve endings or destroys the different hemispheres of the brain that keeps it from being operable. And so the mind seeks to operate through the brain or through the physiology, but because the nerve endings have been destroyed or certain hemispheres of the brain have been damaged or compromised, then it's impossible for the mind to now access those parts of the brain to receive information that can be used in the totality of thinking, feeling, and expression. And so atmospheric entropy, it deals within a degradation of that dwelling place of the soul that starts to compromise the mind's ability to operate as it would normally, to operate as it was designed to do. And so it is the bringing into chaos those tools, that arena by which the mind perceives its reality, by which the mind receives understanding through the information that comes in. And so it is degrading, it is a degrading, it is a chaotic implementation that now hinders the mind from thinking, from perceiving, and from constructing usable information where it can be utilized in the land of the living. I'm sorry, I'm all out of time. This has been Essencology, and so we're talking about, again, in this space and time, defining moments of Essencology. I thank you for joining me. I'm your host, Dr. Derek A. Reeves, and until next time, God bless you.